Nearly 20 years to the day, vibrant Placer County 17-year-old Justine Vanderschoot, missing as of September 2, 2003, found weeks later in this remote grave.
The burial site is basically that.
Officials describing her murder and burial as calculated and sophisticated, her body with evidence of torture, and the fact that she was buried alive.
Just after midnight in early September 2003, a locked Chevrolet S10 pickup sat silently at a park and ride near the Meadow Vista exit on Interstate 80. The keys were gone. No signs of a struggle. No explanation for why the truck had been abandoned just 5 miles from its owner's home. That same night, a young woman vanished. Her name was Justine Vanderschoot. The night before she disappeared, Justine had dinner with her parents. She was with her boyfriend, Daniel Beezer, at the Vanderschoot family home. Nothing outward appeared unusual. After the meal, the two left together. By morning, Justine never came back. Her family waited. Hours passed, then a full day. On September 3rd, they reported her missing. Inside her bedroom, police found her purse, driver's license, and credit cards untouched. She had not packed to leave. She had not withdrawn money. She had not said goodbye. Justine's life had once been stable and ordinary. Born on March 30th, 1986 in Napa, California, she later moved with her family to Auburn, northeast of Sacramento. There, as a teenager, she became close with Brandon Fernandez, who eventually introduced her to his friend Daniel. Daniel didn't just date Justine. He became part of her household. He spent so much time at the Vanderschoot home that he had his own key. Justine's father even helped him secure a job at a car dealership. But the relationship was far from healthy. Daniel was controlling, jealous, and deeply possessive. He disliked many of Justine's friends, especially Brandon, the same man who had introduced them. At Justine's insistence, Daniel cut Brandon out of his life for nearly a year. Eventually, Daniel and Brandon reconnected. They moved into an apartment together. The tension never went away. In April 2003, Justine traveled to Pensacola, Florida for spring break. There she met Dave, a US Navy sailor. When she returned home, she openly talked about how attractive and exciting he was and expressed interest in seeing him again. Daniel became convinced she was cheating. He began secretly recording her phone calls, monitoring her conversations, searching for proof. By late August 2003, Justine had confided to friends that she was planning to end the relationship. She was uneasy, not about breaking up, but about how Daniel might react. She never got the chance. On September 1st, Justine's cell phone deactivated near the same park and ride where her truck would later be found. Shortly before it went dead, she received 2 phone calls, both from Brandon Fernandez. Police cleared Dave quickly. He was not involved. Attention shifted to Brandon and Daniel. They told investigators the same story. On the night Justine disappeared, they were together at their apartment. Each man served as the other's alibi. It sounded airtight. It wasn't. Police later spoke to Clayton, Brandon's cousin. Clayton said that on the night of September 1st, he and a friend named Gary had been at the apartment, and that Brandon and Daniel arrived much later than they had told police. Investigators arranged a recorded phone call between Brandon and Clayton. During the call, Clayton mentioned he planned to speak with police. Brandon immediately told him what to say. He instructed Clayton to lie, to say he and Gary were never there that night. Brandon explained that the truth would get both him and Daniel into serious trouble. That recording changed everything. When confronted on September 17th, 2003, Brandon adjusted his story. He said that on September 1st he had been jet skiing with co-workers before returning home. Later, sick with the flu, he left to buy V8 juice. On the way, he was pulled over for running a stop sign. He claimed the 2 calls to Justine were accidental. Her number was next to his girlfriend's in his phone. Then police played the recording. Brandon broke. He admitted involvement in Justine's murder, but insisted Daniel was the killer. According to Brandon, the three met late on September 1st at the Park and Ride near Interstate 80. Daniel said he wanted to talk to Justine alone. Brandon walked away. Moments later, he heard a car horn, then a scream. When he returned, Justine was already being strangled. Brandon said he was terrified and did nothing to stop it. Afterward, he helped conceal the crime. Justine's body was placed into a hole that had already been dug. Daniel poured a chemical over her body to accelerate decomposition. At different times, Brandon changed his story, sometimes claiming Justine was already dead, other times admitting she may still have been alive when buried. He led investigators to a grave in the hills of Applegate, California. They found her there. The autopsy revealed dirt inside Justine's airway, consistent with burial while still breathing.
Nearly 20 years to the day.
She was so young, she had her whole life before her.
Vibrant Placer County 17-year-old Justine Vanderschoot, missing as of September 2nd, 2003, found weeks later in this remote grave.
The burial site is basically that.
Officials describing her murder and burial as calculated and sophisticated, her body with evidence of torture, and the fact that she was buried alive.
1 week after she was murdered, now suspect, the boyfriend, Daniel Besmer, talked exclusively with KCRA.
Did you have anything to do with Justine's disappearance?
Absolutely not.
In the days that followed that exclusive interview, both men featured. Daniel Besmer and his roommate, Brandon Fernandez, were arrested for her murder.
They are arrested and will be charged with the murder of Justine Vanderschoot.
The boyfriend, Besmer, given 25 years to life in prison. His accomplice, Fernandez, 15 to life. Though both men are now up for parole, Besmer in the next few weeks and Fernandez today. According to the Placer County District Attorney's Office, these parole hearings are not only concerning for the Vanderschoot family, but both their office and the Placer County Sheriff's Office say it's alarming to think of these men being back in the community. A petition to deny parole to both men now has over 22,000 signatures in the hopes to deny Justine Vanderschoot's murderers the request to be released from prison.
Daniel and Brandon were arrested and charged with murder. Daniel told police that he began strangling Justine, but she said, "Daniel, I love you."